In an industry notorious for paying the minimum wage, here's an exception. Drivers' wages start at least £8 an hour, and some earn as much as £20 an hour. The company's always made better pay a priority. His competitors say he's bonkers, but Alan White, who's managing director of Fresh Logistics, says paying the living wage makes business sense.
We started with some seedling finance, about £5,000, and over the last 4 or 5 years it's grown at 260% every year. So now we're going to be turning over about £2.5 million.
So what is the living wage? It's a pay rate that means workers earn enough to cover the basic costs of living, and it's set at £7.85 an hour, higher than the minimum wage of £6.50 an hour. Opponents say that's not enough to live off. In the East Midlands, it's estimated there are 414,000 people earning below the living wage. That's 24% of the workforce. A lot of people will be saying, how can you afford this, though?
We find that we gain efficiencies within the business because we have motivated people that we retain. We don't have to retrain every 6 months, and we don't have this churn that most businesses have because we're paying people the living wage.
And do you think that is the secret of your success?
Oh, completely not. I'm not smart enough to do this. I need a collective of people to do this, and as you can see, the guys behind me are very smart and have delivered in the business year on year on year.
We've set out with a plan from the start that we're going to do things our way. Part of that is to look after the guys, look after the staff, make sure they're well reimbursed for the work that they do.
And what does the difference between the minimum wage and living wage mean to people who work at the company?
I've worked for companies that pay the minimum wage before. It seems that you're increasingly chasing the bills, increasingly getting into debt. But since working for Fresh, that's a thing of the past now. I've been able to sort out my finances and plan for the future.
Drivers like Steph are still a rarity. It's reckoned that only 40 private firms across the East Midlands are signed up to pay the living wage. The pressure's growing on other companies to join them.